Hey everybody, welcome to BrickVault. In front of me today, I've got this I left the stand on the bottom. I've got this incredibly detailed MIDI scale LAAT, aka the Republic Gunship, from the designer Fly in Space. You might recognize this guy for making models that are so incredibly detailed that it kind of makes you scratch your head at first and wonder if you're actually looking at a Lego build. There is the classic SNOT technique, acronym for studs not on top, which is your entry-level acronym of understanding Lego build style, generally speaking. But after having built a few of these hyper-detailed, fairly delicate, smaller scale mocks from the designer Fly in Space, as well as other designers we've been working with, I want to say there's got to be another term used to describe this build style, which is just so incredibly intricate at such a small scale. Now, normally I like to do a quick intro about what the model is based on for the benefit of you, the audience, but I feel like that would be time wasted considering the Republic Gunship's notoriety and popularity in the Star Wars community and beyond. You see this thing in just about every episode of the Clone Wars show. It is the main ship used to get clone troopers in and out of hotspots. It shoots stuff, it looks cool, and if you wanted to build this model for yourself, you can get the instructions at our web store, BrickVault.toys. With an instructions purchase comes a PDF guide to the build and a digital parts list for ordering every piece you need online. All of our models are hand tested for durability. The instructions steps are troubleshot, so the model is easy to build, and the parts for the creation are chosen for availability. So when you buy instructions from us, you will actually be able to put this model together in real life. It is an excellent way to help support our channel and the talented designers that we partner with, like Fly in Space, who has built a ton of great models, all of which are roughly at this MIDI-ish scale. So you can click that link in the description below if you want to get started, and we are now jumping into the features, of which this model has essentially just one. Well, two, I guess, because both doors on the Republic Gunship can swing open. They fold forward only on a single hinge. The model, like I said in the beginning, is fairly delicate, so understanding good grip points on this build is pretty important for interacting with it without making weird little breaks or tweaks. The function works consistently, and you don't have to mess around too much with moving around small parts to get them lined up properly when you're finished moving the thing around. You do a little bit here and there, but it's not too fussy when you want everything to look flush again after transforming the model. The mock also fits on an adjustable display stand. Can you see the hinge moving back and forth? Generally, it works a little better when it's kind of like perfectly flat or leaning back a little bit. Leaning forward, it sometimes wants to jump off the stand, but it's very minimal and very easy to pose properly in order to have just a little bit of extra dynamic angling for the ship when you've got it sitting on a desk or somewhere else in your Lego room. Generally speaking, this model tips slightly more easily than other display pieces, so it's certainly a build that you want to place carefully and then generally don't touch very much. And in fact, on that note, the instructions are incredibly well detailed, not just in specific, intricate, certain connection terms, but Fly in Space also shows you how to properly handle the model as well as to avoid picking up the LAAT from the wrong point. At the end of the day, it's really just meant to serve as a display piece, and it does that super well at around only 25 centimeters long. It's amazing to see just how much detail you can find around the nose of the ship. This usually is considered the more difficult area of the Republic Gunship to model out for designers due to the openings of the front blasters, but these subtle angles were captured with a wonderful degree of accuracy here. The wings are thin and use a nice little panel tile overlapping technique to integrate that sloped angle in the back of the wing. There are exposed missile pods at the top using binocular pieces connected together in a way that I haven't actually seen before. Lots of models are connected using the rounded areas of the modified ring plates, which is certainly a technique I've seen in smaller one-off details, but whole chunks of the rear come together this way, which is a pretty unique technique for a ship. I really like how those subtle angles of the side back of the ship, the rear area here, came together. This is a section that I totally broke when handling it wrong, and I can confirm, at least in this area of the model, that the rebuild was pretty painless. I've noticed over time that delicate models in and of themselves aren't actually deal breakers for a lot of builders going for hyper detailed creations, but instead delicate models that have a ton of painful rebuilds when the inevitable little break happens. That's the thing that generally bugs people the most. Now, I didn't go smashing up the LAAT to see how easy it was to rebuild every little test area, but I did put this in my car and let it sort of fall apart here and there, and putting it all back together was fairly straightforward. These models are pretty fun display pieces and often have the ability to make folks second guess whether or not they're actually looking at Lego when you first tell them what it's made of. This was a pretty fun model to put together. If you did want to build this or something else for yourself in the future, you can always check us out at BrickVault.toys. If you enjoy our content, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, or share. Let us know what other types of creations you'd like to see in the future. And thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. We'll see you next time at BrickVault.